Hello, everybody. Happy Thursday to you. Hope you're doing well. I'm excited today because the new annual catalog launched yesterday with Stampin' Up. And so we have lots of more fun things to play with and new colors. And we're going to have a lot of fun playing with all the new stuff over the next few months. What I want to share today, we're going to be making 2 cards featuring the Simply Zinnia Bundle, which is an online exclusive. But I wanted to share how we can take new things and mix them in with the old things that we already own and love. And so we're going to create projects with a variety of things. So it's going to be a lot of fun. My name is Lori DeGroot from Loritamarie Crafts, and I'm a Stampin' Up demonstrator here in Calgary. And I come here live on Thursdays to share tips, techniques, ideas, and inspiration with you to help you take your paper crafting supplies and turn them into beautiful projects. So thanks for hanging out with me. If you're taking the time to watch the replay, I always really appreciate that. And you can always comment or ask me questions, and I'll get back to you when I can. So the catalog launched yesterday, which is very exciting. And so now when we do things, we can talk about it, we can open it, we can show you the inside. I'm not going to go into all the details of the new catalog this week. If it's something that I think people want, I might do a little catalog tour next week. But I have my catalog launch party next weekend, and today is actually the very last day to sign up. So if you would like to celebrate this catalog, if you want to play with new products, if you want to make some cards with new things, and have someone else come up with all the designs, I would love to help you out. I have a local class here in Calgary. You can get a party packet to go, and that's for anywhere in Canada. Or if you want to just learn how to make cards, we're going to do 4 cards. You can purchase the tutorial, and I'll send you all the instructions for how to make the 4 cards. Another thing that I'm doing is a DSP paper share, and our paper sampler is what I'm calling it. And the idea is that you get a sample of all the DSP. So I'm doing all the ones that are in the suites. So not the color family, so like the brights or the subtles, not those ones. But you get a 6x6 of every pattern. And so it's really cool because sometimes when you get the paper in your hand, you see that pattern so differently. That's happened to me lots of times where I saw it in the catalog and I was like, meh. But then I saw it in person and I was like, that is so pretty. So join the paper share. Even if you can't do the class, you can sign up just for the paper share. All the links are on my website under classes. Just go to Loritamarie and then you can shop classes, and then you'll see all of the information there. So it's going to be awesome. Yeah, so today's the very last day, so don't miss out. If you have questions, you can comment here, and I will get back to you if you need links or things like that. The cards we're making today are also my kit for the next couple of weeks. So my free gift to you if you place an order. So if you place an order from this fabulous new catalog, get some new things, get some staples. If you spend over $60, then with my current host code, then I will pop a card kit in the mail. Everything you need to make these 2 cards, and you'll get everything to make 6 cards. So that's a pretty great deal, and it's just my thank you to you for ordering. So you can find information to that in the description for this video. And so let's just get to the crafting bit. You don't want to sit and look at me all day, right? So maybe you do. I don't know. So here we go. That's my paper trimmer. Come out of the way. So today, I know it's been out for a little bit, but I don't have all my new things, all my new goodies yet. So I just got the Simply Zinnia Bundle. And I've got to say, I was resisting, okay? I was like, I don't need the Zinnia Bundle. But then I just kept having ideas, and I kept seeing people making things, and I like to garden, and I was like, oh, in the summer, I am going to want to make a card with a zinnia on it. So I got it, and I have not been disappointed. It is so fun, and the images are so pretty. And so this is the bundle that I'm going to be using today while using some new DSP and some new colors. And so we're going to be mixing kind of in all the things, which is what we do when we craft, right? We don't just like throw out all our old stuff and just get new things. We're mixing in, we're learning how things go together. And so that's what I wanted to share today. So the bundle or the stamp set is really pretty. You get 2 zinnia images and the leaves and a little like detail that you can add in, and 3 really cute sentiments. I've just stamped here the large so you can see how pretty it stamps. Isn't that nice? And I have a fun card that's going on my blog on Saturday that you'll want to check out that I also made with the zinnias. So that's how it stamps, because today we're really focusing on the dies. So as we go through, we're going to see how all of these pieces work and how they go together. Obviously, you get the dies to cut out these images exactly, so you don't have to do any fussy cutting, right? So each one will cut out. And then you can just make zinnias with the dies as well. So that's what we're going to do today. And the colors that I'm going to use, I am going to pull up my catalog because look at these colors. Look how pretty they look together. And so this is a mix of new and old. So Pretty in Pink is one of our new in colors. It's a lovely pink. Melon Mambo and Calypso Coral are two of Stampin' Up's like standards. Been around for a long time, and so we're working in these a little bit. And they look so good together. And then today I'm introducing, you can't really read it in this light, but they've snuck in a new neutral. So it is called Basic Beige. And so we're going to be using this because I want you to know that it exists, first of all. Maybe you didn't even notice. Beige, you know, it just kind of disappears. But it's a fabulous new neutral, and I'm thinking it's like the updated Very Vanilla. So it's just a little more modern take on a neutral, and you can see how well like it's going to pair with lots of different colors. In the catalog, I love colors and putting things together, and Stampin' Up has done a great job of like helping us understand colors. So if you want to know how to put colors together, what looks good together, you're going to want to check out your catalog on page 132. They have this fantastic color wheel. This is all the current colors, tells you what kind of color family they're in. And then they've got ideas of how you can put colors together. So if you want to keep it simple, if you want to go across the color wheel, how to pair things side by side, lots of great information. Then you've got our color families. So this is where you're going to find them in your catalog now. They used to kind of be some at the front and some at the back. So now it's all here. So we've got the subtles, the brights, the regals, the neutrals. Then these are your in colors. So the 2023, 2025, and then this brand new set, which, I mean, if you love fun, summery, bright colors, these are your new best friends. And 2024 to 2026. So these are where you find all the information of all the products. And here's our basics. So Basic Beige is found under the basics. So Basic Beige, Vanilla, White, Black. So that's where you find that. So I just kind of wanted to quickly point that out. So you've got some ideas of your colors there. Okay, so let's get to our first card. And we're going to start by making our zinnias, and then we'll put our card together. So we're going to cut out two sets here. So one in Pretty in Pink and one in Peach Pie. So these are two of our new in colors. And I'm going to grab my Stamp and Cut and Emboss machine. Does anybody have a favorite new in color yet? Sometimes it changes and evolves as time goes on, or what you play with, or what paper it's in, or all that stuff. So if you've got a favorite color that speaks to you right away, let me know. I'd love to hear. I'm leaning towards Summer Splash, which is like that pretty bluey green color. So and we're not even using it today. So all five are lovely. So I've got my platform 1, 2, and 3, Pretty in Pink, and I'm going to use this outline die. That's going to create the base of our zinnia, and then we've got these two pieces here which create the petals. And then we put our other cutting plate on top. And run it through, and I'm going to show you how to add a little dimension. I think my camera is going to shake a little bit. Sorry about that. I'm going to show you how to add a little dimension to our flowers when you're just cutting out of cardstock. You can also, of course, if you've got the stamp, you're going to want to cut out. You can stamp and color in the stamped image and get all your details that way. Got to poke those out. And then while we've got everything out, let's cut out our peach pie. And so you might notice here, I don't have the DSP for the Zinnia bundle. So this is a whole suite of products that is in the online store. And the online store just means it's not tied to any publication. So they're out, it's on the store, and there's no end date to when they'll be available. So that's kind of fun. So you can get the bundle, and there's an embossed folder, and there's DSP and gems, which are back in stock, by the way. They were out of stock for quite a while. But they are now back in sequins they are. So what I'm doing is I purposely chose colors that weren't in the DSP. So I wanted this to look different than maybe some of the samples that you've seen using the DSP. Because sometimes when we get a suite of products, we only think in the colors that the DSP comes in, and then we can't envision it any other way. So I wanted to re-envision it for you. So we've got some different colors for you today. All right, so we've got our 3 pieces. So you've got your base. Then you've got 2, and you'll notice one has a slightly bigger center than the other one. So I was just assuming that goes underneath this one as we layer up. And there's no real right or wrong way to like layer these up. I usually just spin it till I'm happy with how it's layering up. So before we put it together, we're going to add some color to this with sponge daubers. So I'm going to add Melon Mambo. And when you just sponge your flowers, you are getting, I just need some scrap paper here. You are getting just this little depth and dimension. I think that was my pink one. So sponge dauber, get a little more control and a little bit easier when you've got a small image. What am I trying to say? When you've got a small image as opposed to the blends. So I am going to go off a little bit, and then I'm going to go around the edge of my flower. And we're going to add a little dimension that way. Okay, and so then we go. And so instead of just the flat color of your cardstock, now we're bringing this new life to it, right? And it kind of makes it a different color. And so that's kind of fun. So you can go as lightly, right, or as heavy as you want. That's all in your creativity. And one thing I've got to remember about my glass mat is to wipe off when I do this, because I always end up sticking my card in my ink. So I've got my chamois ready to go today. Okay, so that's Melon Mambo. And then on our peach pie, I decided I wanted to add Calypso Coral. So sometimes what I do when Stampin' Up! Has a flower set is I Google like that real flower. And so I go and Google the real flower and what does it look like in real life, in nature? What are the colors it has? What would look good together? So cutting it out in Calypso Coral would be really good too, because the zinnias I like are the real corally pinky ones. And zinnias are real popular right now with gardeners. I've had exactly 0 success growing zinnias myself. Everyone kind of touts them as being really easy to grow. So I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Need some work on my zinnias. I planted more, or I started seeds again this year, so we'll see if my little seedlings grow. And then maybe I can show you pictures of my real zinnias later in the summer. If we get summer. It is cold here. It is cold and snowy and rainy this week. So we're wishing for our sunshine back. Calgary is actually the sunniest place in Canada. It's known for being the sunniest place in Canada. And so I'm used to my sunshine. So I don't like these cloudy days. Okay, so we're going to wipe this before we get it all over our project. Okay, so another way to add a little dimension here is to grab your bone folder and curl up the edges. So I kind of hold it like this, and then I use my thumb to help curl it up. And I don't fuss with it too much because, especially if it's going in an envelope, it's going to get flattened anyway. But it does, again, add that little bit of dimension, so this is not just this flat flower on your card. And it will hold up a little bit, even if you put it in an envelope. All right. So fun. So we're making 2 cards today, and the other one is going to have a similar idea, but end up looking kind of different as well. So those are flowers, and I'll show you the centers in a minute, but we're going to finish cutting out kind of while we're doing all this. I wanted to cut out, sometimes I prep everything, but today I wanted to show you how to cut out some of the pieces. And so then we've got 2 leaves to choose from as well. So this one has a little detail, and this one's the outline. So, and this one looks good. You just cut it out like this and use it, but it also cuts out the stamped image. So it's got 2 purposes there for you. And again, I've just used platform 1, 2, and my cutting plates. Okay, let's get that out of the way. And then I've cut out, I needed another one, so I cut that out already. Oh, and then again, we're just going to add some color. So this is Granny Apple Green cardstock. And so I'm going to just do tone on tone. So you can add other colors like I did on the flowers, or you can do this kind of tone on tone look as well. And yeah, simple, not a new technique, but sometimes I forget. And so I like to share things that maybe we haven't thought about for a while. It's like, oh yeah, you can add a little detail, and then it just kind of brings that cardstock to life. Okay. There we go. So to end, let's put our flowers together. So we've got the base, and then we've got the one with the wider circle, and I like to keep it easy, so I am just going to add a little seal on the back. Plunk that in there, and then this one's too small for the seal, so you could use your liquid glue or glue dots, whatever your favorite adhesive is. And then I'm just going to turn it so that the petals are alternating. So we'll do the same with the peach one. And I'm just putting 2 glue dots back there. Let's see. Kind of like that. So to do the center, we've got these 2 pieces here. So the little ring, you know, zinnias have that little burst of like yellow usually. So I've cut those out in yellow ahead of time. And then this is the center, and the center is usually a dark or a bright color. So I've cut mine in Petunia Pie. Petunia Pop. I got the wrong name already. I'm like, that's not right. We had, and I'm going to glue these on. We had a card class last night. I have a monthly card class, first Wednesday of the month. And we were talking about the alliteration sometimes, and especially this year, because the greens both start with S. And so we're getting those confused. And then we realized all 3 of the other colors were double P's. And so Petunia Pop, Pretty in Pink, and Peach Pie. And it was like, okay, we're going to get these mixed up all the time. So I just put little dabs of glue on. And I've seen both ways. So I liked it better when I put this yellow piece on first and then this one. But I've seen it the other way also, where you put this little circle on first and then the ring. So that's just a preference. I mean, everything in card making is a preference. There's no wrong way to do anything. No wrong ways. We all bring our own creativity to it, right? Okay, and then I'm just using glue dots to put those on. And aren't they so cute? So satisfying when they all come together, and it's so lovely. Okay, so now let's put our card together. So I said I was going to bring in basic beige. So here's what the basic beige cardstock looks like. So, you know, just beige, but it's a nice neutral. So I've been using a lot of white backgrounds on my cards lately, so I thought, let's soften it up, right? So the beige softens it up a bit. And I'm going to bring in a new DSP, which I used last week. And that's the Country Woods DSP, which is, I think, my favorite DSP. Okay, that's in the new one. I wasn't sure it was going to be my favorite, but I'm like using it on every card. I'm like, oh, I think I'll grab that wood paper. Oh, I think I'll grab that wood paper. And because there's some that are smooth and more kind of elegant looking, and there's some like this that are super rustic, we've got a great variety to use. So if you want to see all that paper, be sure to watch last week's video because I showed a lot of things in the Country Wood suite. So I've got this piece of DSP here, and I've cut it to 5 by 3.5. And then I wanted to bring in another color to mat it on. And so I actually chose Lemon Lolly, and I just cut it 1/8 of an inch bigger. So it's 5 1/8 by 3 5/8. And so that was to tie in with the yellow on the flower. I tried Daffodil Delight, which is what I cut this out in, and it was like a bit too bright for me. So that's why I went with the Lemon Lolly. Another option is if you want to go pink. I'm going to be using pink on my next card, but the pink also looks good. So if you want to go pink, you can use petal pink. So a couple options there. So we'll just go ahead and use our seal and put this on. Okay. And then we're just going to center this on our card. Like so. And then we're going to put our zinnias on. And I was trying to decide how I wanted to put them on, and I decided on tear and tape just so it was stronger. You could put a couple too if you want. And then on our leaves, I'm also going to use my bone folder to curl those up a bit. They kind of smush down eventually too. Okay. Then we'll lay it out. And so I'm kind of having it like this. So we've got 2 flowers like this, and I want one of these kind of sticking up. So we'll grab those glue dots again. So kind of want it there. Then we'll layer these 2 leaves up together. And a couple glue dots on that. And we're going to hide the middle with our sentiment so they can kind of leave a space there. So our peach pie, pretty in pink. And then we need a sentiment. So I've got a piece of basic beige again, and the sentiments in this set are lovely. I love them. So this card I've designed where you can use either one of these long ones. This one says, words fail to express my gratitude. And this one says, sending flowers and thinking of you. So that's the one I'm going to use. And we'll just grab our block here. And I'm just going to stamp it in black. But before we do that, I thought, you know, I've been sponge daubing everything. I'm going to use basic beige. And I'm going to sponge daub the basic beige. So tone on tone. And I'm just going to add a little color to the cardstock. So it kind of goes with the rusticy feel that I have with the wood grain paper. And so I thought that would just kind of look good. And then you can kind of see when you first put it on, it's got a little bit of that greenish undertones there, but that lightens up a bit as it dries. And I'm just going to use my black to ink that up and just stamp it. So this piece is 3/4 of an inch by about 4. And just gotta find my scissors. feel like they're right in front of me, but okay, lost them. And then I always cut mine at an angle. It's like once you start doing something, you can't stop. So now I do it all the time. And then I'm going to use some linen thread. Usually about 10 to 12 inches is good. Oh, that looks a bit long. And I'm just going to do the fold back kind of thing. So I just fold it in thirds. And I put the center of it, I gather it up in the middle, put the center of it in a glue dot, and then put it on my card. And that's just like the easiest way. Then it saves you from tying a bow. But it looks like you tied a bow. And then we'll just kind of line this up and see where we want to put our dimensionals. I was actually going to put them right onto the card. I thought that might be easier. Then I would get it where I wanted it. Then I was thinking of the gems that I wanted to put on this card, because you've got to have gems. And I just went to a classic. So this is again where we can mix returning products with brand new products, right? We don't have to forget about all our old favorites. And so my favorites are the butterflies. And of course they want to be on a zinnia. So I'm going to just use the little guys. These come in 2 sizes, big and small. And we're going to put a few butterflies on there. And this is our first card. That took a little bit, so we're cutting out all the layers today. So we've got one more. And I've cut out most of the pieces already so that it's not going to take us as long to put together here. But I wanted to give you a second layout idea with our zinnia. So we've got basic beige again as our card base, just to show you how to use that new neutral. And then I want to make my card the other way. And so this time I wanted to bring in pink. So remember that pretty Country Woods DSP. There's a pink one. Look how fun that is. I mean, it looks so cool. And this is petal pink. And so this is a piece that's 4 1/4 inches, and I'm going to cut it to 3 inches. And I've got a piece of petal pink here that's 1/4 inch larger. So I think I cut that right. Yep. So that's 4 1/4 by 3 1/4. And so we'll put these together. And so you'll just be able to see some of that pink poking out on the top and the bottom. And we're going to put this kind of to the upper half. And sometimes I find when I do the whole width like this, it's not quite perfect. So it is sticking off a little bit. So I'll just grab my snips and just kind of trim that off a little bit. There's some excess there. And then we're going to put our zinnia together. So this one's going to have a stem. So it's a little bit different. And I had my stem one side. Oh, there it is. So this time we've got the leaves, and I've used old olive, and I've got the stem, the 2 leaves that we cut out before. And this time we've got a detail. So that is this die here. And so we'll just put that on with some glue. Just dab that around. I'm always amazed at how little of that Tombow glue you need to really make it work. And then the veining should line up. There we go. So we've got 2 leaves, the stem, and then our flower, and we're going to do similar to what we did before. I have cut out the 3 pieces of the zinnia in petal pink, and I'm going to now add my color. So petal pink, that's a favorite, right? It's been around for a while. But look at this, the way I'll hold it up too. This is pretty in pink, and it looks so good on it. So I really liked how these 2 tones looked together. which is funny because the two cardstocks don't technically look that great together. But this looks good together, so I don't know. It almost gives it that kind of coral look. It takes the pink out of it a bit and turns it a little coral looking with the petal pink underneath it. Okay, I'm trying to go fast. You can take your time better than I did there, but there we go. And we'll use our bone folder again. Oh, and clean our surface. I don't know if any of you have a glass mat, the Stampin' Up one or a different one. I love it for like 99% of things, but this, I'm not used to it, right? With paper, obviously, it doesn't transfer, but there's been a few times where I've transferred ink to my completed card. Okay, so let's quickly get our zinnias together here. This is all the same. So in the DSP, you can, it's got a lot brighter colors in it. So it's got Melon Mambo, and it has Berry Burst, and what else is in there? It's got different colors. So you're gonna, you can cut right out of the DSP. So if you want a less fussy way of making a zinnia card, so if you like the idea of all these dies, but it seems fussy, you can just cut the flowers right out of the DSP. That's going to be the easiest way to do it. This time I've cut my little, I forget what that, there's like a word for it, right? Does anybody know the word? Stamen or whatever. This is Daffodil Delight, and this time I'm bringing in Melon Mambo. I just felt it looked better than the Petunia Pop on this one. And then we'll grab our stem, and we're going to put our zinnia on a stem, and same with our leaves. I'm just going to put a glue dot on the front corner of each one, and then we'll kind of put this one up and this one down, and the ugly kind of like mishmash, we're going to cover it up with a sentiment. We'll grab our dimensionals. Okay, and we'll get our dimensionals on there. Okay, did I peel that one off? Nope. There we go. And so I wanted the color scheme on this one just to be a little softer, right? So it's not quite those bright colors. So about there. And then we're going to do the same kind of idea with the twine. The linen thread, just, I love, it's just like a natural fit, right? For the Country Woods paper, it just kind of gives that natural vibe. So I just do 10 to 12 inches. Loop it back, and we'll just, I think we're going to put it there. And then we're going to stamp out a different sentiment. So this time I wanted to use the thank you so much. And I'm just going to grab some scrap white paper. So I thought about a few different ways. I ended up doing it on white. If you wanted to do this again on the basic beige, you could do that. You could emboss it, heat emboss it on a colored cardstock. That would look good too. But just to kind of simplify it, I thought that I would just stamp it on white. And this isn't the most straight way to do things, but I am going to hand cut it. So you could fussy cut it out as well, like go around the text, but I wanted to kind of keep it more of a rectangle shape. Sometimes I get it straight and sometimes I don't. That's not too bad. And then we're going to hide all that kind of messiness with our sentiment. And then to finish off, it needs butterflies, right? All right, I've got a mess going on here. We'll fold that up. Grab my brushed brass butterflies if you're looking for these. They are returning. And I'm going to add 3. Oops, not upside down. And there's our second card. So I hope you love seeing how the Zinnia bundle worked. Simply Zinnias. Plus seeing how we can mix products we already have with some of the new colors and putting everything together. Thank you guys for hanging out with me today. That was super fun. If you want to make these cards, of course, if you've got all the stuff, you can use these ideas and have some fun. If you place an order, these are my current card kit to go, which means it's a free card kit that I put in the mail for you as a thank you for ordering. And a reminder, it's the last day to sign up for my catalog launch party. We got lots of fun details. So pick up with the link in the description, but I'll go do that now. And then it's also on my website under classes. So Loritamarie and then classes. And then you'll find what's open and current all the time. Hopefully I keep it up to date, right? So thanks so much for hanging out with me. Next week, we're going to have some more fun things to do because we've got a whole fun new catalog to play with. So I'll see you guys next week. Take care.